host of the awesome talk show, Forgive or Forget. We were there to allow people to open up their hearts and be in a safe space and know that they will be well taken care of, because people, you done did some ratchet stuff to people and you needed people to forgive you, and you sometimes you gotta forgive them over there because they have done something to you or you've done something to them. And that was the power and the platform of Forgive or Forget. And we had a bang up show. This was many years ago. I mean, I was talking to a young man. I can't wait for y'all to meet him. Oh my goodness. He said, Mother Love, I was watching you when I was 10 years old. And this baby has kept up with me since then. I mean, I'm just telling you. And I remember, we were doing really, really, we banging up the kids I keep calling them kids that worked on the show. And they were just my babies. They were just so wonderful. I mean, these kids, they broke their butts. They bought you great programming. They got you bought great guests and great stories. And then after, even when they were coming on and they were in the, getting ready for the hair and makeup, they went from being guests to being part of our family. And a lot of them felt disenfranchised, disconnected from their families, from their friends, from their loved ones. And Forgive or Forget, the platform was, you come through the door, either you forgive them or you forget them. That was a powerful, powerful show and a program. And it wasn't, I never looked at it like maybe that could have been my fault, because I really didn't look at it as a TV show. I looked at it as we had cameras in our area and they could see the pain, the glory, the angst, the disappointment. They could see that right there, and they felt safe. They felt safe with Mother Love. And then they sent me a fax. Yeah, they did. They sent me a fax. We were on Thanksgiving break, and how you could be on someplace and on a job or in your family, something is going on, but you can't put your finger on it. You're like, something is going on. They start breaking up the producing teams. They start moving everybody around, and it was cool because everybody was cool with each other. So that part was not bad, because all the producers and the associate producers and the runners and all the people that were putting, they were there, and they did their job. And I found out so many things about these wonderful people that worked on the show, and the producers, the executive producers, the ones at the studio, they decided, well, we want you to be more like Jerry Springer. I'm like, what? I really, you want what? I'm like, Jerry Springer, they be snatching off their wigs and throwing furniture. This is like coming into my house. I'm not going to have nobody coming to my house throwing no furniture. I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass on you. First of all, you ain't going to get into my house if you're going to act like a fool. I'm not doing it. And it ain't going to happen. You come in here and I will check your slap happy behind, and you know this. I'm straight, no chaser. I'm allergic to BS because I can smell it coming. So okay, I'm diverting, and I'm just saying that this was, and it wasn't even about me, Mother Love, the fabulous, illustrious, the original host of Forgive or Forget. It would, okay, that was my shameless plug. It was about the people. It was about the stories. It was about the compassion and the lack of compassion that people had for each other. I had a mother and a daughter. Y'all can read about it. I ain't getting ready to get weepy. I ain't gonna get weepy after all this time. I'm not. God. And I gotta tell y'all, since the time they kicked me off that and they kicked my ass off. They sent me a freaking facts. Our Mother Love, your services are no longer needed, and so we're respectfully asking you to not return to the studio. What? And I had never said a cuss word. I had never said, and y'all know, Prime Black, Marty,
yeah.
Shaq, y'all know I got a potty mouth. I will cuss your ass up from an Amazing Grace to a floating opportunity. I will cuss you, and you won't even know you've been cussed out till you find out your ass done fell on the floor because it can't hold two holes. You got one asshole, and now you got two, and I done ripped both of them out and set them on the goddamn floor. Oh wait.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This ain't nobody watching this anyway, so we ain't have no problem with that. Hey, they sent me a fax. I'm in full wifing effect. It's Thanksgiving. We got the Thanksgiving break. We had the biggest ratings. 20th television had never had ratings like that before. Not on a first syndicated run show, though we were a first run syndication. So that meant we could be on 5 different channels or 55, however that works out with the numbers. I'm not only good, I'm good with that, but only you know what I'm saying. So they sent me a fax, and after we got a second year pickup notice, Pepsi Cola company came in and said, we're going to spend $2 million on Mother Love Show for the second season. Who does that? Who freaking does that? They came in, they kicked my slap happy behind off. I went to the fax machine because back then. Oh, back then, we had a fax machine, and you would make that funny noise. And I went, oh, I got it. That was like a present. Oh, it's a surprise present.
No, it sure was a surprise.
They sent me a fax over Thanksgiving holiday and said your services are no longer needed. And I got my bearing. I went and told my family. And they was already doing, all of them was ready to do a drive-by. Even the little kid. Wait, what? What? Oh no. Who we got to go and open up a can of whoop ass on, mama? Whose ass do we need to be up in that? Just calm down. It's not that serious. And I got all of them off the roof because they had went from the kitchen and the dining room to the second story all the way up to the roof. And when you got to get them off the roof, and I'm like, it's not that serious. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. And they were like, how we gonna be all right? I got a pay or play contract. You got to pay me even if you don't have me on the show. You got to pay me every freaking week. You got to make sure a check is coming. And my husband, he was saying, I was like, they didn't even have like what you could go like deposit your check in the bank and it'll come. They didn't even have none of that. We had to go get the check and pick it up and take it to the bank and cash it. Okay. And I said, it's all right. They had to pay me, and they had this one was so jacked up, y'all. It wasn't even about that with me. Okay. When the kids came back for Thanksgiving, I can't believe this is this being my pit. And I really felt like I let them down. But I wasn't going to sacrifice their integrity and the hard work and the compassion and the kindness that they showed to the guests that they booked, that they showed with one another, that they showed with me. I mean, these kids would come in, and trust me, they would come in my dressing room, and I'm getting my hair and makeup done, and these kids are sitting on the floor with, pitching the show and telling me about the guests. And I remember them saying, we We couldn't even do this with the other talk shows we worked on, Mother Love. They told us, don't you look at the host. Don't you talk to the host. Don't you approach the host. If you see the host walking down the hallway, you turn your back and face the wall. I was like, what kind of damn Nazi shit is that? Oh, God.
Get it out.
And I told him, I got an open door. This, we like I told him, y'all don't work for me. We work together. We're a team. You got a job. I got a job. They got a job. All God's children got a job. They had a full-length mirror that they had, like I'm going out, and say, and ladies and gentlemen, your host, the Forgive or Forget Mother Love. Okay, so they got this big mirror, before I go out, on the stage. I'm like, why y'all got a mirror there? They said, so you could check and make sure your hair, makeup, and wardrobe is all right. I'm like, why I got to check? Why do I got to micromanage your damn job? You a hair person? Put your hair on. You got to go this way. You got to go that way. You got to beat the hair. You got to beat my face. You got to make sure my tits are, they ain't lopsided, because when you get to be a certain age, gravity starts to take over your pieces parts, and you need to get some support. And people think I be playing when I say, and I put on my good bra. Y'all don't even understand. I get measured. My brassieres are cussed. My granddaughter didn't even know that the word for bra was brassiere, the long word. I'm just saying. And there was no reason for me to double check their work. There was no reason for me to, second guess what they did. This is what you do. Now, if I look crazy because my wig on sideways, if I look crazy because you done made a lipstick curl right here, that's what you do. You ain't gonna, you ain't gonna second guess me about being a host. You know what I'm saying? Okay, wait, now I really got it on crooked. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay.
Right there.
You know which way it go. Okay, here we go. I got it. So I got portable hair. I've had portable hair since I was
mm-hmm. Got that back and forth.
It's an accessory for me. Mm-hmm. I remember on that show. Let me tell you what these sorry son of a biscuit eaters said. After I got the facts, and they told me that they didn't want me on the show. My services were no longer needed. Well, before that, they had started, like I said, splitting up our producer teams. And, and that was cool because the kids were great. They just, because they was all cool with each other and they did not miss a beat. And so then they decided, okay, I would have like soirees at our estate. We had an estate. And we worked in New York. We lived in New Jersey and Scotch Plains, New Jersey. And big shout out to Scotch Plains because y'all, everything you needed. And it was a little bitty tiny. We lived on the cul-de-sac. With the back hedges we shared that with a golf course. And so I would tell people, look, if a golf ball come over the bushes and knock you in your head while you're trying to play basketball on the court or you trying to get in the swimming pool, I'm telling you, I don't have no insurance for that. You're over, Mother Love. You're back here with us at your own risk. So, and the kids would come out and we would barbecue and they would bring their kids and, it was just like they were family. That's why I still call them baby. And we would have such a good time. Oh, Lord, and don't let me sit, because I had access to a limousine service. And my husband had friends that lived in the Bronx. Okay. And they would, the Stretch limousine, he just went in. Stretch limousine will pull up to the apartment building. It's this wide, right? I mean, this long. And one of his aunties, see, these kind of people, we believed in, because they were always there for us, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And we went to, they went, well, I wasn't, they sent the car to come, a limo to come and get them. Let me tell you, these colored people, because they were different shades and hues of colored people. See, I don't like that whole black thing. I ain't black. I'm burnt sienna. So I don't know what that whole race thing is just like stupid. It's just stupid. Shut up. Okay, so anyway, they would see the limousine and here come Auntie. She coming up. You know them the shopping carts that your grandma and them had where they would roll it to the grocery store, get their stuff and then roll it back home.
Mm.
Auntie come down off the 19th floor in the Bronx in New York. She got a whole shopper cart full of spices and meats and whatever she want. Cause she was of the mindset when people, how people come to your house and they go, well, do you have spam? Well, did you bring spam with you? And don't come the bring I ain't got no with you. So she made sure she had beef. This is like really crazy. And y'all ain't even helping me. Y'all just let me move my wig around. Okay, now that's better. I just let them. And
Move it to the
so
left.
to the left. Oh yeah, that was right. That was good, Marty. See, y'all, these are people that love me anyhow. They'll talk to me with my wig on crooked. And so they would come out and have a great time. And, they would go back. And, some of them got a little crazy on the limousine ride. One of them had peed in the, she got so drunk. She got to watch the people with alcohol. Because they started telling all the beeswax.
Mhm.
You want to know about some dirt in a person's family? Go to the funeral and then go to the repast where they got the food and the alcohol. They start getting a little. You find out that children that you had been paying child support work for were not your children.
18 years.
Yeah.
18 years, and after 18th birthday, he found out it wasn't his. I ain't saying shit gold digger.
We knew we had a good product. Not only did we have a good product, we
Yes,
had a
you did.
great product. We had a great show. We had a sustainable show. And when they told me, and I remember going to they have this convention. I don't even know if they still do it. It was called the NAFTA convention, National Association of Television Producers and Executives. And you go out there, it's like a seminar for television. And so they were all out there, and I got to meet Jerry Springer. Oh, Jerry Springer loved him. Mother love. Yes, he did. And he hugged me, and we're in the VIP suite. So my titties were feeling really big right there. Huh? Really big titties. They was really big. And I got to meet. See, this is why I want to talk to y'all. This is why, because the filter is gone. I don't have one. And so I'm in there with Jerry Springer and we having cocktails and everything. And they give you all kind of fancy food and carrying on. That was the first one. The next one I went to, I remember I bought Ziploc bags and tinfoil because they waste a lot of food at them damn Hollywood parties. It's ridiculous. So I'm in there and I get to meet Jerry Springer and he was like, "Oh, this was Jerry, God rest his soul." He said, "Oh my goodness, mother love," and he said it like, like that was like a big deal. He, "Oh my goodness, mother love," and I'm like, "Oh, Jerry," and I'm the
Hercules.
my baby. And this was before any of that happened.
Yeah.
And so he was hugging me, and he was. I remember him being the mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio. From Ohio.
Yeah.
When he got elected, and a lot of people didn't know how smart he was, how intelligent he was, how funny he was, how compassionate he was. I mean, he said they paid me to let these people act that damn. And he like, I'm cool, long as and even one of his security guards got a talk show.
Steve Wilkos.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
and Jerry Springer hugged me because they were taking all. You can only spend so much time with each host or whatever. And it's like, okay, your 30 seconds are up. Well, we must have stood there for a good 5 minutes. So they was like, oh, they over there. We got to go over there and separate them. So they could be colluding. and we were colluding. And he said to me, and I took it completely to heart. Here's a guy who knows this business, who had been doing his talk show. He said, Mother Love, don't you ever compromise you. Don't you
Mhm.
ever compromise Mother Love. People love you. I love you. And don't you ever compromise. And I had never even thought about, that I would even be in a position where somebody would ask me to compromise. And lo and behold, them sons of biscuit eaters came and told me in my dressing room one day, oh, we want you to be more like Jerry Springer. We want people to jump up and cuss people. I'm like, what? Okay, do y'all know how stupid y'all sound right now? And now these are the executives that are from Los Angeles, and they've flown into New York to want to sit and chastise me and put me in my place and tell me what I needed to do, what I had to do. I'm like, okay. So they came and at the same time we were launching our show. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Magic Johnson, whom I love,
Mhm.
we go to church together. I love him. And he loves me, and his kids love me, and his wife loves me. Cookie and Magic and the kids, they love me. Okay. So Magic, he got a late night show. I got
20 television did that.
yeah, 20 television did that. And I had no problem. I'm like, cool. Oh, okay. So I know I'm like that. I could call him. I'm just like, like this in Washington. I can say, what's up, D? His wife go to church with us too. And we all belong to the same church. And so we Magic was doing his late night show. I'm doing my daytime show, and they were like, I don't know what happened, what they did with Matt. This is what it was. First, they was gonna put me on the cover of the TV Guide magazine, and then they said, I want to tell y'all this, and people don't know this, and you can look it up in the record books. I talked to the powers that be at 20th Television, and they were wanting to do a launch in the fall. My suggestion was, well, let's do a soft launch in the
Mhm.
summer. And let's do it in the summer because people are on vacation, they're doing whatever they're doing, they're not thinking about TV, and we'll see who who will come to us, because they said if you build it, they will come. So they was like, well, we don't launch shows in the summertime. We've never heard of them. I'm like, well, step outside of your box. Just think about this. If it works, okay, fine. If it doesn't work, no harm, no foul. You still get to have an hour to feel that you could sell to somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, they ain't like that part. What the hell she talking about sell? What the hell she know about now? What she know about Nielsen numbers? What she know about, moving programming around, because I'm just some big fat black chick that's live from the projects in Cleveland. I don't know nothing. I just go, okay, Mr. White Man, I do what you tell me to do. Okay. This was the problem. They sent for me to come to Cleveland. Marty, she'll vouch for me. Marty, I was minding my own business, wasn't I? I was driving the bus, and then Mike put me on the radio. And I tell you, I was on a white radio station.
Mm-hmm.
My husband worked at what is now the Costco. It was called. He worked at a store like that, like Costco, and people. I came to his job and I did a picnic lunch for him on the top of the car. And I'm in there doing and his coworkers was like, ain't that Mother Love? I can't believe he cheating on his wife with Mother Love. They thought he was married to a white woman. Because he would come in, turn that off. No, I wouldn't listen to WGCL. My wife is on the radio. And it's a white radio station, Marty. Yeah. And they were like, you cheating on your wife with Mother Love? He's like, Mother Love is my wife. But I thought he said, well, that's what you get for thinking. Ain't nobody asked you to do no thinking and trying to figure out what my life is about. It was freaking priceless. MasterCard took that from me because I said, oh, doing this and doing that and thinking my husband was married to a white woman and knowing that he wasn't was priceless. Oh, I came up with a whole lot of great things and stuff that they done took from me. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't bother me. Let me tell you why. Because just like God gave me that, God will give me more. And my position and my assignment is to share the grace and the goodness of God. And when these people came up and said, well, we want you to be more like Jerry Springer. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. And I wasn't going to do it. I simply was not going to do it. Then they came up with some new Moriel stuff. I can't believe I'm telling you this. Okay, y'all, what we supposed to be talking about? Shut up.
You good.
I've never talked about this like this. Not ever.
I'm loving this. This is great. As a
Oh, you're not helping, Shaq. You're not helping. You're supposed to help the mother.
It's alleviating. It's therapy.
it really is,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
a third
surprising
for
to
a
me
fan, and
yeah.
for a fan to hear this too is really, it's really enlightening because.
Oh, wait. Speaking of fan,
Oh.
I'm telling. Let me talk about this young guy, Marty. Me and Marty, we sister friends from 100 years ago. Me and Prime Black from maybe 50 years ago. This young guy, Shaq C, is truly a Mother Love fan. He actually found video of Forgive and Forget and put it up on his website. And he was doing all, because it's a hard thing to find stuff on Mother Love. They don't want none of y'all to know that I was here.
I didn't find them. I recorded them. He
recorded. This is the guy who had been watching me since he was 10. Okay, okay, you tell the story, Shaq.
So I've watched Forgive or Forget since it was on in 98 to 2000. That was when I was 10 to 12 years old. So, and the reason why I love the show so much was because of the music. The music was jamming, it was popping, I loved it. And as a child, you only adapt to what you know and what you like. And music was, as a child, that really got me. And as a child, I used to always be interested in like credits and theme songs. I loved like music. So that was iconic, number one, for me to do that. So I would always, as a child, record Forgive or Forget, but I lost those tapes. And so when Bounce TV came along in 2013, and then I found out that they were going to replaying Forgive or Forget, I said, oh my gosh, I don't know when this is ever going to happen again. I don't know what I don't know who bought this. I don't know what happened, but I got to get all these episodes or as many as I possibly can because I'll never see them again. So I had a VHS. I had no cable because that's how I was able to get Bounce. So I had no cable. I had a VCR and I got a whole bunch of VHS tapes and I said, I'm going to record it. And Bounce TV, they played Forgive and Forget whenever they decided to play it. You know, they would play it in between a movie, you know, so you would have like, you would have Cleopatra Jones and then Forgive and Forget. So, you know, that's how Bounce TV does it. So then I would record it and I would then take the tapes, I would digitize them, and then I go online and there's nothing about Forgive or Forget. I'm looking on YouTube, and this was just about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm typing Forgive or Forget. There's like 1 or 2 clips at best about Forgive or Forget. And I'm like, well, no one's uploading Forgive or Forget. I should be the one to do it because nobody else is doing it. So I said, I'm going to upload all these videos, or at least the ones I have. And I'm just gonna take a shot because I don't know who's gonna watch them. I might be the only person on earth who watches them. Yeah, so exactly. Who knows?
Wait, so I gotta have other people that are watching.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying, you know, because people, you never know who's gonna watch these videos. You never know. Right. So, you never know. But when I put the first video up, I got so many comments of people saying pretty much all the same thing. Oh my God, I remember this show. I missed this show so much. Oh my God, I can't believe they took it off the air. Oh my God, like it's like a chorus of people saying, oh my, and then people saying, oh my God, I miss Mother Love. I miss her advice. I can't believe they replaced Mother Love with no disrespect. That's what the comments were. I can't believe they replaced her with Robin Givens. And back when they did it in 2000, I remember specifically, my grandfather, God rest his soul, he specifically said, I can't believe they replaced her with Robin Givens. What the hell she know about anything? And again, no shade to Robin Givens. That's just the way people felt about it. Because yeah.
I know. And when they approached me, the studio approached me about the whole how are you gonna handle this? I'm like, I ain't never got fired from a job until I got to Hollywood. Every job I had before I got here, I was making a step up and a step up and a step up. I had never gotten fired. I had never been dismissed until I got to California and start doing what I was doing. And people would say, I don't know how you could just take that Robin Givens, replace it. Robin Givens, bless that baby's heart. She did not replace me. She wanted to stand in the gap and do what they wanted her to do. And they were like, okay, well, we want you to go on like Entertainment Tonight, or what's the other
Access Hollywood.
Access Hollywood.
Yeah.
We want y'all to start, we want to get a feud started with you and her. And we want you to, I was like y'all must thank you, Lord, for bridling my tongue. Y'all sorry sons of biscuit eaters actually asked me to go on television to the public and malign her, and what this is what they said about her. And I have never met her. I've never had a conversation with her. I would never, ever, ever be demeaning to another Black woman in this industry or in any industry, for somebody else's, for their gander or for their satisfaction. And I'm not gonna do that. Well, we want you to go on this show and do a bad. I'm like, I do it, but it's gonna cost you extra. Don't get me wrong. Oh, I can be bought. Don't get me wrong. Bought. Yes, you can. You can buy that. And they were. And when I remember when it. Anyway, back to the whole part about them.
So why did they let you go?
And then they wanted me to publicly malign and be vicious to this woman. And I'm like, it's hard enough for us to get any kind of position in this. You're not gonna use me. Yeah, I will not do that. Oh, well, that's why we needed to terminate you, because you don't do what we tell you to do. Where the furniture? I need to buy furniture. I had to buy them. I was doing this is when we had got the second pickup notice, and we were doing, how you see like Pat Harvey and what's her name, and Nora on the CBS or
O'Donnell.
ABC. Nora O'Donnell. I just love her, and I love Lester Holt, and I love all of them. And you want me to go on TV and malign this woman? I'm not gonna do it. But
you know what I noticed, Mother? You know what I noticed on that second season? You did it well. But what I noticed in that first half of the second season, those episodes, and hopefully maybe on another time we'll go through them. A lot of those episodes were very salacious compared to the first season. You know what I mean? Like they had episodes where threesomes and gay, like it was a little bit more risque than the first season, where y'all were doing more heartfelt stories, which that's why everybody liked it in the first place.
They were trying to trash it up. They had a family come on, and I don't know, because they do plant people in to those talk shows, for whatever reason. A lot of them are genuine and some of them are not. We had one guy, and his whole thing was he was going to tell his story on Jerry Springer, Forgive and Forget, Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake. He was just like a whore of a talk show. And when he came to our show, because we flew them in, we fixed them up and did all the stuff, and hmm, and we found out that he was a serial guest. So I said, and I called him out, and I did not know that they recorded that, and they were gonna keep that piece. I'm glad they did, because I said, so wait a minute, how come I seen you on Ricky Lake telling the same story? You know, I know Ricky Lake, right? Right? You do. I you know I know Montel Williams, right? And they were like, oh, what? I said, you know what? We flew you in. I'm sending your slap happy behind back on a damn Greyhound. I don't play. I done put people out the show. I done cut them off. I almost was up. They had to stop me from getting, because I done pulled my wig off. I done threw my jacket.
You chase people. You chase people off who walk off the stage. You would chase them and be like, "You better get over here."
I know,
Yeah.
And
because it's like, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they, because I wore an IFB, so I could hear what was going on in the studio. And they were like, "Oh, keep her camera on, Mother Love, keep her mic open, because damn, we don't know what she loving. Did she just chase after? What? Did she just snatch his ass back? Oh, hell to the no! It ain't that kind of party." And so, and then they started trashing it up. They had a group. It was a mother, 2 daughters, and 1 guy. And the from my recollection, it was that the 2 daughters had babies by this 1 guy, and then after the 2 had the babies by this 1 guy, then the mama starts sleeping with him. What I don't understand sleeping with your ass ain't sleep when you having sex unless your ass is bored and you are no good. I'm sleeping with Ralph. Oh, you ain't. Ralph ass ain't sleep. You ain't sleep. Shut up with that stupid stuff.
Wide awake and alert.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wide awake, alert, and saluting.
What? Oh, 10. Okay. And I was like, really? And they ran with it. They was just, I was like, this has got to be fake. This didn't even sound real. So I asked them to stop the show, because it just wasn't feeling right with me. This didn't feel like it was, it didn't feel genuine. And that's where I started having a problem in the 2nd season. I really didn't get a chance to do the 2nd season because they kicked me behind off of the show.
Why?
All these people were in the 1st, and I had just written my 2nd book, Forgive or Forget. Never underestimate the power of forgiveness. I was published by one of the main publishing houses in the country. All 3 of my books were published by St. Martin's Press or Simon and Schuster, at Atria Books. These are big dogs on the porch. And when we got it launched. Our book launch and our book tour was scheduled to start right after Thanksgiving break and into Christmas. And they, the book people, the publishers had printed up all these books, like 250,000 books, something crazy like that. And they kicked me off the show. Well, I'm a hustler from Cleveland, from the projects. We was like, give us some boxes of them books and we'll sell them out the trunk of our car. And that's what we did. Absolutely. And people enjoyed that. And to see the impact and the nostalgia and the need in the 21st century. We're at 2024 and people are in even more pain than they were back then. And I am here to be a conduit. We have to look out for each other. We have to be able to talk to each other. We need to know, people need to know that you are not in this dogfight by yourself. You're not going through this by yourself. We hold on to each other. And remember when your mama told you when you was growing up, they said, when you get a little kid, you gotta look both ways for the traffic, and then cross the street with the older people, cross the street with the big people, and the big people would always protect you inside those white lines to get you across the street. We just broke the white line. We just broke the the sense of protecting our youth and our elders and us in the middle. I mean, we the ones going through the gauntlet. We the ones going to take all these hits, and we got to have our armor on. And so many babies, so many people, they just feel
empty, and it's an incomplete void. And we look at the segment as we're talking about it now of the question of why, and that really bodes well to the context of our society at that time of why would you remove something that would be so heartfelt and so compassionatory towards us as humans. Like, we needed something as like forgiveness and reconciliation. Even as a kid, I understood these concepts of moral compass for me to be able to wake up to. The Door was just as important as Pokemon and Power Rangers at that time as a kid.
And that show was so unique than any other talk show or really any other show that was on there at the time. Like, you had people who were willing to go on that show and talk to you and say, I was wrong. I should have done right. I want this person to forgive me. Please forgive me. And sometimes they wouldn't, but you would still tell them, at least you tried. At least you made the effort. At least you attempted to do it. Because if you didn't attempt to do it, then you'd have that guilt behind you.
Exactly.
And people today are begging for something, for something so that they can say, I want to tell somebody that I am wrong. I'm sorry.
As a kid, I saw this. My introspection, I was able to comprehend that. That was something beautiful to be able to hold on to see adults, where adults be telling us, get out grown folks' conversation.
Stay out of child's place.
Or, stay in a child's place. Or don't be looking down my throat. You know what I'm saying? Like, go sit over there. To see something on TV, like I said, it was just as much that important and valuable as any of the shows that were out. But like you said, it was very unique. And to be able to talk about something that very minute, and it goes to like the sins that we all live amongst in this wicked world of like forgiveness.
We're so prideful. We're so prideful as a people, and we can't look inward into ourselves to see what we're doing wrong.
It's too scary. It's too scary. It's too frightening. When you think about it, people have done some foul things, not only to other people, but to themselves. And the first step needs to be, how do I, and why do I, and when do I forgive myself for the wrong I've done, for the wrong I've caused? And there would be no way, and it just wouldn't have been. It just wouldn't have been right. I had to face the same issues. I had to stand in my crap. I had to stand in front of my mirror, buck ass naked, and go from head to toe. What do I like? What do I not like? What do I need to forgive myself for? What do I need to forget about other people? And people don't understand about the power of forgiveness, especially when you're asking somebody to forgive you. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to be ready for them to say, I will not forgive you. You did this, and I will not forgive you. That's no longer on you. When you make the effort, when you stand up and you take responsibility for the crap that you've done, for the evil that you have created, whatever it is, because don't nobody know what they say. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself.
You helped us publicly hold. You helped us publicly hold ourselves accountable for our wrongdoings. It was a public platform and a place that people can actually openly go to, no different from a courtroom, but it's different from a courtroom. At the same time, it's a spiritual releasing that people needed. And so the fact that it's been removed from our television and even from the internet, just like you said, Shaq, it was so difficult. And I'm such an investigative person to even look at this. And
you guys are.
Yeah, to see how much of a disconnect there was, and to see how it's been festering with a lot of people that they don't have an actual platform. So that's what's so awesome about what we're doing now by trying to build up and create another level of Forgive or Forget into Tell Mother Love, where people can actually come back and revisit you with these.
Because Ricky Lake actually does something similar to this. She does a podcast where she goes through certain episodes and she looks at them and says, wow, maybe I should have said this wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have did this. Maybe, and it's very interesting. Why can't we do the same thing here with Forgive and Forget? Well, we are going to do the same thing here with Forgive and Forget because it's such an amazing platform where there's no judgment. There's no, I mean, well, maybe there is. It depends on who person. But there's.
Okay, I'm very judgmental. I tell you right off the rip, I'm very judgmental.
You be like, that's stupid.
Grandma always say, "Mother love, you the judge, jury, and execution." And I'm like, okay, and your point would be what?
Yeah.
You may be judgmental, but you've got a heart, because when something happened on that show, you came to Cleveland and took care of it. You know what I'm referring to, right?
So when you see all this, Marty, you've known me for so many years. We've been, this is my sister friend. This is my sister girl right here. Her entire family. Like I told you, her brother is the guy that discovered me and said, "Oh no, you gonna do this." I'm like, "Oh," and he started some stuff, and we had a great time. And you've seen me come up through the trenches. You remember when I drove a bus, and I'm just doing this from my heart.
Can I bring up why you came to Cleveland when something happened on the show?
Get it out.
Okay, go ahead on. I done said way too much.
Well, okay. It was when one of the people that came on the show, one of the guests, came on the show, and her friend wanted her to stop seeing a married man. And she went back home to get milk at the convenience store, and that married man took her life. Mother Love came to Cleveland and paid and took care of the funeral. And she wasn't even on the show anymore. It was when Robin Givens had hosted it.
Wow.
She paid for it out of her own pocket, because if she would have been on that show, that would have never happened. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, you should have. Should have.
And these are the causes and effects. And these are the causes and effects.
That's one of the ones that I knew we couldn't. I think about her. I do.
I'm sure you do.
And I know she's in heaven.
And it's an interesting dynamic that, the position that my mentality goes into to see this beauty was ripped. Like, I feel like they bullied the beautiful. When I look at the powers to be, when I look at the executive producers, I look at the television networks, whoever was the executive person to be able to pull this from the grasp, because it was just the analytics behind it, the logistics behind it just never made sense, And so when you got impulsive decision making from people who just really are not even in tune, who say they're a part of the people, but not even know you're completely disconnected from the people, that didn't make sense, because that wasn't even the translation that the audience wanted the translation to go into.
The fact that you would say to Mother Love, "Oh, you should be more like Jerry Springer." Yes, okay, fine. You want an original show to be unoriginal. You want a show that is unique to be not unique. It makes no sense. But this is where you get people who, today, 2024, you have talk shows that are rerunning and streaming. Forgive or Forget should be streaming, because the stories are timeless. Even though the guests, like you just talked about, they may be, not of this earth anymore. Or they may have different situations in our lives. The guests may be different, but the stories are the same. The situations are still the same. People are still going through the same situations. So I think with us being able to revisit these stories, I think it's gonna resonate with a lot of people, because people are going through these things.
Even the topics to even talk about, like there's so many topics that can be discussed about right now that really would translate from, like, the show was the blueprint for any and everybody who's out there. So that's why I feel like this year is nothing but a Mother Love flex, because I feel like everybody is trying to extracts from all of the work that she has done. She and what we're doing now is putting all of the work that she has done that has not been seen, that has been confiscated or held hostage by the powers to be. And I feel like all of the audience out there, all of the people that are listening out there, I think this is a call to action to anybody out there who has ever been Team Mother Love, who's ever been a cyber baby of Mother Love, who's ever been a fan of the show. Forgive or forget. Never underestimate the power of forgiveness. You ever been a guest on the show Forgive or Forget? Never underestimate the power of forgiveness. We're trying to gather everybody on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5 p.m. Eastern time. We want everybody to be able to chime in, send your information in. If you've been a prior guest, the email is the Mother Love Show. And once again, that is the Mother Love Show. I'll put it up where we can actually all see it.
Oh, look at that! Look. Hair makeup and wardrobe is my friend. Oh.
These are the social medias that you guys can chime into and tap in, so we can actually develop this conversation. This is we want to know where you guys feel with all of this. You know, we're really trying to revisit this and recook this, remix it, and rehash it out, because we need that platform of forgiveness and reconciliation again. And so you can listen to the show however you can on all the platforms that are below, on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Blog Talk. You guys download all of the episodes, any of your favorite episodes, any ones from the past episodes. We want to be able to transition from Forgive or Forget into the show of
Tell Mother Love. Baby, come tell me. I know there's a lot on your heart, you know, and you know me. I leave it. I empty out so I can get full with your issues. So we can work together. It's not about I. No, it's about us. It's about us putting our resources together spiritually, communicate in the community, you know, making sure that you get in tune with your community. Know who's making the decisions for you, because if you don't know who's making the decision, you might make a mistake. I knew who was making the decisions, and when 20th Television, I don't know if I told y'all this, and I ain't trying to have no pity party. Every time they would call me, this was my Mother Love modus operandi. They would come and say, "Oh, Mother Love, we want you to come and shoot a sizzle reel with us. We want to do this kind of show." I come in and do the sizzle reel, you know, and they take it to the powers that be, and they say, "Okay, yeah, well, we like the concept." And they go, "Okay, well, Mother Love is just a fill-in. We're going to have this person be the host." And then when the show fails, they call me up. "Well, why would you?" What? It was an audition. Are you mad at me because your shit did? Oh.
$5.
What a pickle jar. I got a cuss jar. And every time you say a cuss, but is that really a cuss word? Okay.
You getting it out. We are getting it out. It needs to be getting out. This is the BS.
Instead of saying that, I'll say
the BS.
Sugar honey iced tea.
Yes. We needed
when I say sugar honey iced tea, you know what I mean. And this is what has been so absolutely humbling, and I'm honored to even have that space in people's hearts and in their psyche and in their lives. This many years later, every time I go out, up to and including today when we was in a Walmart shopping, and I was just trying to get, you know, some vegetables, you know, do my thing, because I thought, wait till y'all check out Cooking with Love. Cooking with Mother Love. I put my foot in it. If it get a little crunchy, that's because it got a toenail. Got a Mother Love toenail. And this young girl, she heard I was standing there doing something, and I said something to my husband, and she said, "Oh, she sounds just like Mother Love." And I'm thinking, she a kid, how would she even know that? And I said something else, she said, and she kind of eased up on me like this, and she said, "Are you Mother Love?" And I'm like, how do you know that? She said, "My grandmother loved you, and about you. And listen, and she's whispering. I'm like, why you whispering? I don't understand that kind of. Oh, this is one that took me. They just, us kids and older people have no filter. They have no. Kids don't get a filter till they're about 12. Okay, so this lady, you talking about us just looking at them aesthetically, just absolutely beautiful. The mother was beautiful, just all, and she wasn't overdone. She was a rich chick. She wasn't overdone. She had a set of identical twin daughters. She had 2 sons. I'm gonna say, for the sake of the conversation, they were like 12 and 10, the twins, and she had 2 little kids that were not twins. So they were like 12, 10. The twins were like maybe 8. Excuse me. And the babies were like maybe 4 and 3. Because all of them were ambulatory. And so they heard me in the Costco. I'm coming around the corner and I'm standing and I'm saying something to somebody, and the twin starts saying, yes, she is. No, that's not. Yes, she is. That's her. No, she's not. That's her. I'm telling you, that's her. And I'm like picking up on this. So, I'm like, oh, what are they? Why are they in a debate like that? Now they're like this close to me now. And she said, one of the twins said, are you Mother Love? And I said, yes, baby. How do you know? My grandmother loves you. And she goes, and she turned her and said, I told you that was Mother Love. She said, well, she's a dinosaur. And the other little girl said, she's a unicorn. Buy me for $1 with that one. Buy me for $1 with that one at the baby's mouth. And they identical twins. One of them said I was a dinosaur, and the other one just, she's a unicorn. She didn't say, no, she's not a dinosaur. She goes, she's a unicorn. And I mean, this is stuff you can't buy this. You can't program this. You can't plan this. You just never know. And I never know who's watching. I never know who's listening. I was doing a speech on diabetes awareness, and that's one of my biggest, where I spend a lot of my energy and effort with the diabetes community. And people just don't understand. We got to take care of ourselves, got to take care of our health. God revealed to me that I was going to have this chronic condition, and what was I going to do with it? Was I just going to be like a lot of people that have diabetes? Oh, let the Lord take care. He'll make sure my leg don't get cut off. Oh, Mrs. Jones, we're going to have to amputate your foot. Oh, I told you he wasn't going to let my leg get cut off. And we have to be held accountable.
And that's why you kept a healthy conversation about communication that was so it was always such a hard thing to do, whether it's political or in a family house or anything like that. You provided a healthy, neutral place where people can actually talk and discuss, whether they got riled up or they were emotional about it. You were the facilitator of this type of arena that people can step in, whether it was harsh or it was safe or unsafe. You allowed the space that we could be able to go to and actually listen and actually learn from. You were a mother. You taught us. You nurtured on all levels. And to see them bully the beautiful, that's where us as the cyber babies out here need to be able to kind of rise up and rise to the occasion, and realizing that this is the work that needed to get done, because we can see how a lot of these powers that be are narrating a lot of our stories now, or silencing any of the work that we have put forward and really have done out here. And so for you, Mother Love, you have graced this land for so many years. You have blessed the ears and the eyes of so many people. And me and the many other faces that are out here just wanted to give you your roses for providing that mother's love that we all needed, and allowing us to be able to have the introspection, the deep introspection, to look within our own mistakes that we may make and seek out forgiveness and at least have the strength and be empowered by our moral compass to be able to forget and move on, because life is short, and we need to be able to take these things into consideration. And you have been able to provide us with a platform to look towards that. So thank you, and thank you.
I am so humbled,
Seconded.
so honored, and I really I absolutely wish I could take credit for all of that, all the beautiful things you said. That don't have nothing to do with me. That is God on high who opened up the universe and continues opening up the universe around each and every one of us, around Marty and around you, Prime, and around you, Shaq. Just see, when souls come together like this, and especially in the turmoil that our country and the world is in, this is not just in California and Cleveland and New York. This is the country. This is the world. There's so much evil that is being perpetrated against their fellow brothers and sisters. We are all God's children, and for people to think that, oh, well, you don't look like me, so I command that you be written off the face of the planet, or you don't sound like me. Excuse me. So I don't want to hear what you have to say. We're only here for a finite number of times. I don't know if you guys got to ever had the experience of seeing the stage play Rent, and they break down the time. How many 60 seconds in a minute. I remember, and they go all the way down to the calendar, to the 365 days and the 180 something thousand days that you have in a year. Why would you just think to do ratchet stuff? And you got to think, when you're doing ratchet stuff, you're thinking ratchet thoughts, and that you don't think that's gonna come back on you. I did. Okay, then why won't they? Karma is a witch with the capital. And you might think you might actually think you got away with this. No, you ain't got. You might get away. You might get by, but you will not get away. You ain't gonna get away from the evil that you've done. And you sit and talk, well, I don't know why my life is in the toilet. Think about it. Think about all the evil you did to the people that were around you. And now all of a sudden you need some help. It brings me to the story. It was you could Google it. It was two sisters and their brother. And they grew up in extreme poverty. And the brother, he got away from that, the extreme poverty. He went on to make a very lucrative living, doing whatever it was that he did. And he did not even turn around and say, well, sister, do you need anything? And they said, well, brother, can you help us? And he goes, no, I'm not helping you do anything. And they got by. They made it to they were like in their 60s. And the brother got sick, went to the hospital. He needed a kidney transplant. And they did, testing, and they had him on the registry and what have you. And they couldn't find anybody. So they asked him, do you have any relatives that we could test? He goes, oh, yeah, I have two sisters, but I don't speak. No, he said, they don't speak to me. So it was all on them. So he said, well, then they said, well, can you just call them and ask them to come to the hospital to be tested? Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So he paid, the only time he ever did anything for them, he paid for them to fly into where he was. He paid for their hotel and their meals and everything. And, they went and they got tested. One of the sisters was a perfect match. Perfect match. So they told him, they said, you're a perfect match for your brother. And they said, well, can we give him the news? And they said, of course. So the two sisters come in, and one sister's on one side of the bed rail, and the other sister, who was the perfect match, she was on the side where his head was, and she leaned down and she said, this is the first time you've ever done anything for us, and I'm not gonna even deal with that. And he said, she said, I'm a perfect match. I'm a perfect donor for you. And damn if I give you my kidney.
Wow.
That's why I tell my grandkids, y'all better be nice to each other because you might have to give a
You
kid.
might have to do something.
And to feel, and he was, and they said, and from me remembering the story, if I'm remembering, because I walk down the hallway and forget what I went down the hallway for.
Isn't it amazing how much people are not nice to each other?
Mhm.
It's gotten so much more to where we do need this presence right now. It's starting to trickle down in the newer generations, and it's at a much more devious and diabolical
And we got to
level.
stop that. I don't want my grandkids. I don't want the kids behind me and their kids to, grow up in that kind of volatile, hateful environment. We have to show love. We have to first thing we got to do, well, this is just in my opinion, trust and love God and be very, very afraid. Second, trust you. Learn to love you. Learn to love that you're not here by happen chance. You're not a mistake. You're not any of that. You are here for a reason, for a season. Some people come into your life for a little while. Some people like Marty come into your life and we like till we die. Until we die. That's how we gonna be. Until we die. And now, Shaq, until we die. And you're the young one. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
We got to hold on to each other.
Thank you.
And I would be remiss in my duties as a human being, as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, as a God-fearing woman. I would be remiss in my duties if I did not, and no, if I would not, because you could do it, if I did not step up and be willing to go through the gauntlet to make sure that we would be okay. I might get chewed up. They might snatch my hair off, whatever. I might come get through the gauntlet. I'll be like limping on one leg. Well, I still got an ear, but I made it through to pave the way for others. You talk to these kids now, and they got these nasty attitudes. Think they could talk to their elders any kind of way. We got to start putting down parameters and directions and expecting people to be accountable for their actions. I just want to thank you all for just even listening to us, just even understanding we got a big giant hole that we got to fill. And listen, I'm just the vessel. I'm stuck with spackle, duct tape, and bubble gum. And God just said, keep on going right until the wheels fall off. Find your assignment, know your assignment, and step into your assignment. And we are here to help you. And sometimes, you don't know what to do. You don't know who you could talk to. Baby, come tell Mother Love. I got you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, and also, wait. I want to make sure that, okay, this is terrible. Okay, that was all, emotion and everything. But I want y'all to make sure y'all check in the Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spreaker, Blog Talk. What's the other ones? There's a whole bunch of them out there.
All right, we'll put them up right now.
So don't even say we can find Mother Love. See, that's
here
we go.
You got Mother Love. Go to the website, motherloveshow.com. That's motherloveshow.com. That's MOTHERLOVESHOW.com. Tune in live Monday through Friday on Blog Talk Radio and through Spreaker at 2 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. Follow Mother Love on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. Mother Love Show, The Mother Love Show. Download all of the episodes on Spreaker. Listen to your favorite episodes. We will be shooting Tell Mother Love Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in. Number will be available. The email is themotherloveshow@gmail.com. That's themotherloveshow@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have been a previous guest on the show, if you've had family members who were previous guests on the show, we've had many people who have been looking for episodes that are of their family members or friends of guests on the show. And so that's why we have embarked and brought in Shaq C. We
Yeah.
brought in Mari, we brought in Mother Love, we brought in myself to be able to bring this to everybody's table in their phones, because they've been really wanting to get closure or see hear just their family's voice again. And so thank
Mhm.
you, Shaq, for being able to provide that for a lot of the people out here, because without you, man, a lot of these different shows or people wouldn't been able to visit these memories again. So what we want to be able to do with everybody, we just want everybody, we thank everybody out there
Problem.
who has been involved with the show, who's been a fan and who's been trying to search and for Mother Love. She's here. And so that's
Mhm.
what we're doing, is trying to put this all together. And thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll see you another time, God willing.
See, you ain't supposed to be making the host cry. You know what? Y'all wrong on so many. Thank you. I am so honored and humbled to be in you guys' circle, and the fact that you have rallied around love, and you see that we got a lot of work to do.
Yes, ma'am.
We got a lot of work to do. Okay, Tito, I need a tissue. Okay, bye.